Hello, Alden Hebron Giant families, students, and staff. This is Mr. Hangay coming to you with a video about winter finals for the high school. I'm going to talk a little bit about the schedule for the finals, and then also for the students, the winter final exemptions. To start off with, I apologize for the lighting. If I have the lights on, my face is really dark and you can hardly see it, so I thought I'd try it with my lights off with just like a desk lamp on there. I apologize if it doesn't come across very clear. The main thing I want to talk about today is the winter final schedule. We currently have 3 days scheduled for finals: Wednesday, December 20th, Thursday, December 21st, and Friday, December 22nd. You can find the winter schedule on the school's website, so if you go there and take a look, I believe it's underneath the high school tab, you can kind of see what that winter finals schedule looks like. I'm just going to read a little bit from the schedule that was posted and that students have had access to. It says, finals are open campus and you are not required to be here if you do not have a final for that period. Lake County Tech Campus students will attend Lake County all 3 days unless we have a weather day that conflicts with the day on Friday. If you do not have a final but need to stay, you should report to the scheduled study hall posted above. If you are late to your final, you will not be allowed in and will need to make arrangements to make it up. Students are not allowed in the hallway during finals. We will have a locker cleanup on Tuesday, December 19th at 11:30. We ask that you take care of items you need to at that time. Information about exemptions will be coming to you soon and should be done by Friday. If you have any questions, please ask your teachers or Mr. Hangay. Good luck on your test and have a happy holiday. So the winter final schedule is set up like this. Wednesday, December 20th, we will have odd period finals. So 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th. Students that attend Lake County will have Lake County 1st and 3rd period, so they need to attend Lake County. Lunch is sprinkled in there between 10:50 and 11:30, and again, everything is open campus. On Thursday, we have our even day period finals, 2nd, 4th, 6th, and 8th hour, again with lunch at 10:50 to 11:30. Where it might get interesting is if one of these days ends up being a weather day, whether it's snow, cold, whatever it might be. If one of these days ends up being a weather day, the other final will go on as scheduled. So for example, if on Thursday you get the call that we do not have school due to snow, cold, whatever it may be, finals will be then on Friday at the makeup times that we have set up from 7:40 to 9:10, 9:15 to 10:45, and 11:35 to 1 o'clock. Now, what will have to probably happen is we know that in that case we will have to do some doubling up. So, you know, there might be a couple of different students from different class periods into the finals test. Teachers are aware of this. They will work with the students, on setting those up as they are needed. But right now the important thing to remember is that on Wednesday we have odd day finals, Thursday even day finals, and Fridays are makeups if needed. If the finals are not needed on Friday, I'm going to remind staff that I'm asking you to have all grades completed before you leave on that particular day, as you will have all morning to work on getting those graded and getting those into the grade book. That way students can kind of see where they stand even before they come back second semester. Again, if you have any questions about the winter final schedule, please feel free to ask myself as you see me, or ask staff, as they are pretty well aware of what is going on with that. Remember, you can stay at the school if you're a bus rider because you don't have any place to go due to the fact that it's open campus. You just have to attend the study hall room that is posted on the final schedule. So that should take care of the winter final schedule. Again, if you have questions, please do not hesitate to ask. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was the winter final exemptions. As students are well aware, we take MAP tests 3 times a year, and depending on how a student does on those MAP tests will determine whether or not they are able to exempt from certain finals. Students have the opportunity to exempt themselves from a math final or a science final or any final that is in the humanities. In order to do that for the winter, students had to score within 5 points of their RIT in the fall test from the spring, and then they had to show growth between their fall test and the winter test. So as long as they did both of those things, then they would be allowed to either exempt themselves from a math or science final or a humanities final. Area test, math counts for the math and science. Reading and language usage counts for the humanities test. In the office, students, are the winter final exemption sheets. Staff have all been sent an Excel spreadsheet that they can reference to be able to tell you, yes, you can exempt from a math final, yes, you can exempt from a humanities final. Students, it's very important that you understand that you can only exempt from one math or science final. You can't be exempt from a math and a science final. You have to select. You have to pick and you have to choose. The same thing goes for the humanities. You can only be exempt from one of your humanities tests. So, for example, if I am a freshman student and I have Algebra 1, I have Biology, I have World Studies, I have English 1, and I have Spanish 1, and I have gotten myself exempt out of a math final and a humanities final, I might pick Algebra 1 as one of my classes that I can be exempt from as far as the test goes. But I will have to take my biology test. Okay? And then the other one might be Spanish 1. Alright? So I will go ahead and take my World Studies test, and I will go ahead and take my English 1 tests. So you can only be exempt from one of those two particular categories. Okay? Now, it's also important to remember that if you exempt out of it this semester, you could not exempt from that same test second semester. So if you exempted from your Algebra 1 first semester, you cannot pick Algebra 1 again second semester. Again, if you have questions on how this process works, feel free to ask myself. Feel free to talk to your teachers, Mrs. Vanderpaul, whoever it might be, who you think might know and be able to provide you an answer. Okay? Starting tomorrow, there will be winter final exemption sheets in the office. In order to get yourself exempt from a test, you must complete this, and it must be handed in by 2:40. You know what? I'll say 2:50 on Friday, December 15th. Because I am going to grab those after school, and I am going to start filling them in so that teachers know who have been exempt and who have not been exempt from their winter finals test. Okay? Again, winter finals exemption sheet must be completed and handed in to the office by 2:50 on Friday. There'll be no exemptions, no excuses. Okay? So you might want to take a look at that. You might want to think closely as soon as you can, because if you happen to be absent on Friday, you know, you won't be able to get yourself exempt from those. So take a look and get those in. Again, I can't stress enough. If you have questions, please feel free to ask myself, ask teachers, whoever it might be. Parents, I'm going to ask that if you get this and you don't think your students are going to see it, that you have them review it. I'm also going to ask staff to play it during study hall tomorrow so that they also hear this as well. One last thing before we wrap things up. It's kind of a long video today. Students, don't forget that your course selection sheets are due in the main office also by Friday the 15th. I would like to kind of be able to take a look at those and start building a high school schedule and have that completed before the end of winter break. That is a goal of mine that I started, that I thought about this fall that I would like to see get accomplished. So please get those turned in as soon as you can. Again, if you have questions about those exemption sheets, talk to myself or other staff. And if you have questions about your course selection sheets, talk to myself or Mrs. Vanderpaul, and we'll be happy to help you. I hope everybody has a fantastic night. It looks like the snow is now concluded. This video is being shot on Monday the 11th at about 5 o'clock. It doesn't look like it's snowing anymore, so everything should look good for tonight's game. Good luck, Giants, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you. Bye.